Good morning, Bruce. Alicia, Gary Lucas. We're on to the second slide here. Let's see who else is coming in. Feel free to type in the chat where you're checking in from. Love to hear where you're checking in from. Joshua has joined us. Good morning, Joshua. Drive careful there. The hemp CBD girl is here. That's awesome. Let's see
That
here.
was me.
All right.
He said the hemp CBD girl is here. That's awesome.
Oh.
Well, welcome. Let's see here. Thomas Booth has joined us. Welcome. At the House of Brands has joined us. Susie Christensen, Pam. Toyin has joined us. Welcome. So as you're coming on, especially if you are on a phone, you want to mute yourself out. We'll get everything dialed prior to launching here, but this should be pretty awesome. We got a really, really great lineup for y'all to kick off the month of December. Let's see here. Let me Gary is joining.
So I ready to move in. I said, you know what? Last
Tony Rod. This looks like the Zweigels are in the house. Welcome and good morning. I guess I should probably change my name here.
I think she's not going to make it there.
Let's see here. That's better. Let's see. Jen and Phil Boyle joined us. Margie Henry, good morning. Kathy Crawford, Sam, welcome. So we got about 3 minutes before we get things kicked off. We got a couple other people that need to show up and get us all dialed on the recording and everything. So just give it a couple moments. All right. Bernadette has joined us. Jimmy Parrish has joined us. Welcome, Jimmy. Looks like we have Chelsea Kyle in the house. Good morning and welcome, Chelsea from Colorado. Sarah has joined us. Looks like Amy has joined us. Pam, Rosemary. Okay, people are starting to file in here now. So we're up to pushing 3 pages. Let's get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 pages would be awesome. So as I mentioned earlier, if you're just coming on, my name is David Scoltetti. We've got a fabulous virtual Super Saturday for you. Be sure to go out and take the next couple of minutes to maybe send some direct messages to some of your team affiliates. But as I always like to say, I'm sure you have prospects in motion. Invite them to this virtual Super Saturday because they get a feel. They get a feel for the culture, the community, the information we part. They feel the energy. So would really highly suggest anytime there's a big event like this, prospects are welcome. It's part of their evaluation process. So definitely tap into that. Looks like Hattie has joined us. DD, good morning. DD has joined us. Chip Hedrick is driving and joining us. Welcome. Ms. Campo, thanks for joining us. Brian Nichols has joined us. Terry H has joined us. People are starting to file in here, guys. As soon as I find Daisy May here, where's she at here? She hasn't quite joined us. It's 11 o'clock. All right, let's see here. I think we have almost everybody but Daisy and Jefferson. So as soon as we get these guys in here, we'll get things kicking.
I'm here, David.
Oh, you're there. Excellent. So now all we need is Daisy. That's all we need. Is 1 second here. So maybe while we're waiting for our last speaker, feel free to type in the chat. Number one, not only where you're checking in from, but if you had a big win in the month of November, why don't you just chat it? We'd love to shout you out. Good morning, Tammy Baker from Kansas. Good morning. we'd love to shout you out. So yeah, feel free to share. Jane, welcome to the call. Welcome, welcome. Veronica, welcome, welcome. Johnny Simmons has joined us. Tammy Baker, Lisa Redding, Angie Cloney. Hey there, Angie. Looks like Dana has joined us. Dana, if you can just get us dialed here, we'll get things started. Just let me know when you're set with that. Jojo Monroe, Kenny Rossi, Ginger. Welcome, Ginger. Hit 5K this month. Congratulations, Ginger. All right. We're up to 5 pages, guys. I know we can double this. I know. Listen, if we all messaged one additional person from this, just imagine not only the energy we can bring to it, but imagine how much better your month of December will be kicked off. So welcome, welcome. Looks like Deo has joined us. Steve from Vegas. Excellent, excellent. Don Smart is here. Corey Mims is here. Let's see who's on this other page here. We got Jen Riley, Jen, Connie, Tamiko, Antoinette, Prince, Connie D. Julie has joined us. Welcome, Julie. All right, guys, we'll get just another minute here. We'll get things kicking here. Tracy Norman from Jamaica. We're going to talk about Jamaica a little bit here today. I think we only have one person from Jamaica that's actually living in Jamaica, but I think everybody on this call wants to go to Jamaica for the 420 extravaganza function. I think that's going to be an awesome event. Let's see, Shelly has joined us. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, we're almost dialed here. Daisy, are we good? Are we all good? So as soon as you push play, I assume you have everybody as co-host so we can manage the mutes, but all right, looks like we're live. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to December 2nd.
Recording in progress.
2023. My name is David Skoltedi. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today. As many of you know, we do this virtual Super Saturday, the first Saturday of every month. We've been doing that for a little over 3 years now. And we try to bring, number one, a dynamic and a plan and a strategy for you to launch your new month. But we also like to bring, a lot of experience to the table where we can give you the right advice, the right guidance, to ultimately move your business forward. And today is no different. Today is no different, other than the fact that we have Mark Aceta with us today, which is kind of cool. But today is no different. We're going to be very focused on that over the next 90 minutes or so. So pull out a pen, pull out some paper, and take copious notes, because what we're going to share with you will definitely help you with your business. And our theme for today, incidentally, is about closing out the year strong and setting yourself up for your best year ever in 2024. So with that said, to kick things off, I'm going to pass the mic over to Jefferson Santos, 250K affiliate, leading the way. And it's just, I think he's checking in from Las Vegas. There's a function going on there. Good morning, Jefferson. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thanks, David, for having us on here. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Hope all is well. It's good to see you guys. In my hotel room, it's crazy. So we had some leaders fly into the home office to meet Josh last night. We're getting them started this morning. So I'm doing a little bit of here, then I'm going to speed over to the office and do a training over there and then fly home to the family. So here's the thing, guys. It is December. It is December 2nd. We just started a whole new month. And, one of the things that's really, really important as an entrepreneur is that you get really good at hit and reset and integrating your wins and then learning from the lessons, right? You don't want to say losses, right? You don't really lose. You just kind of learn, right? And so, what David was kind of mentioning earlier before we got started about commenting on your wins for November, I know a lot of us had wins in November because of Black Friday and how you prepared for that. And so I'm going to cover a few things here that will help you with your mindset leading into this new month, and kind of create some expectations too. And I want to give you a heads up on something new that's about to be launched here in the next couple of weeks that is very important to you because it deals with your business. It deals with the potential of your business. It deals with the globalness of your business. Because how many of you, put a one in the chat, how many of you would like to have a team outside of your country that's growing while you're sleeping? Put a one in the chat. Okay, cool. All right. So that's another thing I'm going to mention as well. So I got put a few little hooks out there to keep you listening before we bring on our next speaker, Market Setup. First of all, let me just talk about Market Setup for a second. I've known this guy. I've known of him for like 20 years plus, but, been working with him for like 17, 18 years. And, it's really cool to be able to work with a living legend, right? A guy that's trained so many people over, millions of people around the world and can do characters on stage and then do business stuff and just have all these, he's got this versatility, right? And we get him this morning. And this is really cool. And I know you've seen a lot of us, maybe you've seen him before too. You've seen us on Zooms or whatever, but don't let our familiar faces think like this information is going to be familiar. Okay. Because when you listen to something, when your ears are open and your eyes are open and you're listening for something that you really need, you're going to find it. Right. And I think it's important that you really tune in right now and don't just treat this as another Super Saturday because maybe you've been on a gazillion Zooms. Listen, we've all been on, I don't know how many Zooms we've been on the last few years, right? But just don't let this familiarity get you lazy, meaning in your listening, right? Okay. So a couple of things. Right now it's separation season, okay? It is time for you to get market share, not just get market share from other people. No, it's really about you expanding what you're currently doing. Because right now, the prospect pool conceivably could be a little bit smaller in December because people are busy. But here's the thing, they're busy doing what? They're buying stuff for Christmas. Okay, and if you can get in front of them, if you can have a conversation, because all business is a conversation, right? That it could lead to a sale now or a sale somewhere towards the end of the month or a sale in January. And so it's a pipeline. You got to keep the pipeline full because if you have, I would say an amateur mentality and you're like, it's the holidays, it's really busy, it's hectic. I mean, everybody's got a cold, it's cold outside, all these different things, which everybody else is experiencing the same thing. And you take your foot off the gas. I'm telling you, it is going to be a crappy December for you and a crappy January for you. And I know each and every one of you did not attend the Super Saturday to hear that, right? Thanks for the inspiration this morning, Jefferson. Right? So the key thing here is you got to think separation season. How can you separate yourself from the pack? How can you separate yourself from yourself of what you did in November and October? And you know what you did. You could post whatever you post and do whatever you do, but you in your heart of hearts know what you did. And may I say this, and I'll raise my hand on this. Could you have done more? Probably. Maybe that one more phone call, maybe that extra follow-up that you're like, whatever. I don't want to feel like I'm pestering them. You're not pestering them. We don't know. See, here's the thing. There's people that their car is going to get repossessed. Their house is going to foreclosure, and you don't want to call them because you're pestering them. What's more of a pestering? When the tow truck comes to the dang driveway, when you get the letter on the door saying you can't get in your house or whatever, like that's more pestering than you making a freaking phone call or a text, right? So get over yourself. I'm talking to myself too, and make the extra phone call, the extra text, reach out to people, all business is a conversation. Okay. So separation season. Not just in your business, but how you operate in life. As we move into the end of this year and in the beginning of 2024, I want you to see yourself as a different person. But I'm going to say something that we're all working really hard to get maybe an outcome. We're trying to hit 1K, 5K, 250K, whatever we're trying to think. We're trying to get this outcome. But you know what? It's more about the person you become because the work does more work on you, okay, than you do on it. I'll repeat that again. The work that you're doing does more work on you than you do on it, okay? Because if you don't hit the goal, you're more informed. See, as we move through our entrepreneur path, here's what we start with. We start with this this uninformed optimism. We're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a millionaire. Oh my gosh, I'm going to tell people about this amazing opportunity and everybody's going to sign up. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And you realized that not everybody sees it like you, right? And you're like, wait a second, do I smell? Do I look funny? What's going on? How come people aren't signing up with me, right? And so what happens is you come down below the line and you have this informed pessimism. You're like, holy crap, this thing is not working the way that I thought it would. I thought 100% of the people that I presented to were going to sign up. I thought that my best friend, that's my best friend because we like the same things, was going to see the video or see the whatever, and they were going to sign up, and they didn't. So now you have this informed pessimism of, man, maybe this isn't the best thing, and you start to doubt yourself, right? And it's not really about doubting yourself. I know that's the simple thing to say, but really, they're not believing they can do it. See, usually when somebody says no, here's what I think in my head when somebody says no, is they're not ready. They don't have the courage to believe in themselves. They have done things before. They don't want to get burned again. There's all these things that are probably going through their head. And that's the reason why they're not saying yes yet. I haven't communicated enough that I'm going to support them or set them up to win. There's something that I didn't do, but ultimately it's on them. Right? And they're rejecting themselves, not rejecting you or rejecting me. Okay. Because maybe they think they're not ready. And so after the informed pessimism, we sit in this valley of despair. And here's the thing. It's like, it's a crappy feeling. And I know all of us have felt this before. Put a 2 in the chat if you felt this before. Man, I'm doing all this work. I did all these presentations and all these people are saying no, but a couple people say yes. Is this really going to work for me? Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever thought that in your mind. Is this going to work for me? Yeah. Sandy, Pamela, Terry, Ava, all the names are popping up. Kyla, Vanessa, Linda. Yeah, Kelly, Tanya. So it's like, Prince, yeah, we've all felt that before. We've all been in the valley, but the only way to go is up. And so you keep on working at it. You keep on attending these trainings like this. Right? You keep on taking notes. You keep going, okay, I know what Jefferson said, or I know what Mark said, or David, or Dr. Data, or Candace. I've heard that before, but I know that, but am I really doing that? And if I'm doing that, am I doing it consistently? And if I'm doing it consistently, am I doing it in excellence? That's the levels you need to dig down deep when you hear your mind go, oh, I know that, or I've heard that before. Well, no shit. We've all heard most of the stuff before. Right? What separates the winners from the losers, and the girls from the boys, and the women from the girls from the women, and the boys from the men, is, are you doing it and consistently and in excellence? Right? But out of the valley of despair, you get into that informed optimism where you go, now you start to know the lay of the land. Now you know that, oh yeah, there's other people out there that don't believe in themselves too. They got self-doubt, they got imposter syndrome, all these different things. So it's my job to believe in them more than they believe in themselves. It's my job to cast the vision for them, like not just to sign up, don't close on the money. You cast the vision of seeing them being a 6-figure earner, casting that vision for them, right? And so if I'm talking to my buddy Bob, and Bob's like, I don't know, man. It's like, dude, listen, Bob, I've seen you coach the football team, and dude, when you step on that field, you are the guy, and the kids listen to you, and you know how to win. You could just carry that over here. Right? And along with me, alongside you and us doing this together, it's important to say words like we and us, like all the time, right? Us working together, dude, we could crush this thing. Okay. You moms out there. Okay. Some of you, all of you, you have this mom authority. Like when the kids ain't eating their broccoli and they're not doing their homework, you're like, dang it, get on your freaking computer and finish that homework. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, they're just like, you just slap them in line, figuratively or literally, whatever. So you got to carry that mom authority and the dad authority over to this business, because you got this, because you've got leaders and mentors surrounding you that want you to be successful. We're not interested in you signing up and failing. But the thing is we can't do it for you. We can't put on the helmet and the shoulder pads, football reference, and get on the field and do it for you. We can lead you to and direct you and tell you and even show you. We can't do it for you. Does that make sense? And so uninformed optimism, It's going to happen, right? Even your new people, when they get them, they're going to have this uninformed optimism. Then they're going to have this informed pessimism when something negative happens. Then they're going to go down, number 3, into the valley of despair. Okay. And you need to talk to them where they're at and say, listen, let's do this. Let's pick yourself off the ground. Because here's what happened to me. Feel, felt, found. Share it. Here, I'll share you a quick story. This is a long time ago. Had a teammate of mine was like, dude, I live in Dallas. And he's like, dude, I got this guy. He's got a room. He's rented out this cafeteria thing of the school. There's going to be 500 people there. He's telling me all this stuff about it. I'm like, cool. So we drive 5.5, 6 hours to Arkansas from Dallas. And literally there's 4 people there. And it was me, him, and the 2 people on his team that were there. Like literally nobody showed up. And I could have been like, oh man, why did you do this? Blah, blah. I said, you know what? Let's do a little training. Let's talk about why this happened. Because if I didn't do that, I would have left them the valley of despair to rot, right? But it's my job to pick them back up and say, listen, what can we do better? And why did all the people didn't show up, and why did it not happen? And we worked through that, right? And then we ended up calling some people and meeting some people at the restaurant nearby and trying to get a little stuff going and taprooting that organization, right? So things like this are going to happen, and these are the stories that you are going to have, and so you will understand the lay of the land. So as you come out of the valley of the valley of despair, and you have that informed optimism, you're going to be able to operate your business with experience, with knowledge, with discernment, but you can't coach people through things that you haven't gone through. Does that make sense? So it would be awesome if all of us can go just from 0 to super affiliate or 0 to master affiliate. But here's the problem. If you just shot up there, you really don't know how you did it. In your mind, you're like, man, this is awesome. I'm making all this money, but they're asking me to train, but I don't even know how I did it. So your confidence, your check is through the roof, but your confidence is in the toilet. So you get confidence by doing the thing and doing the work, and the work works on you. And that's how you get good. That's the only way you get good, by getting the sore muscles, by maybe spraining your ankle, by getting the rejection, by feeling socially awkward for a little bit. We've all done it, and we've just done it longer. That's it. Okay, so in wrapping up this announcement that's happening very, very soon, that has to do with the Akashics. Now, I'm not a trader. I've never traded money. I was intimidated by it, to be honest with you. I'm like charts and all these things, right? And we've got these amazing traders that are winning like literally every day. They're not 100%, but they're dang near close, okay? And Josh has figured out a way with the technology to where the experts like Javed, like Matty Pips, like Brent Badal, like Rich, like all these amazing traders that we have that have amazing track records, to where they trade for you, okay? And it's called tap to trade. How many of you can tap a button? Just put a 1 in the chat if you could tap a button on your phone. I know it's kind of a silly question, right? So literally you've got experts trading. So you have your brokerage account connected to your Akashics app and your MT5 app. Okay, it's all connected. And guess what? They got the driver's wheel and they got the stick shift and they're driving. And when then it pushes through for a trade, it'll just pop up a button. Do you accept? You hit accept, and that's all you have to do. It'll set the take profits. It'll set the stop losses. It'll do all that for you. You don't have to learn how to trade, although it's good to kind of know the terminology and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but you do. So here's the thing: where is Akashics? How many countries? 200. It's everywhere. Okay, the subscription used to be $199 a month. Now it's $149 a month. With Brand Bucks, it's $99 a month, including the new tap to trade software that's going to be included in the new Akashics app that's coming out in the next 2 weeks. Definitely before Christmas, in the next 2 weeks. Okay. So right now you have to be pre-launching this thing, because here's the thing, internationally, it's going to be tap to trade for everybody in the world, but internationally, just so you guys know, we're going to have it to where right after we launch tap to trade, to where internationally the traders will do all the trading for you. You don't have to tap the button. See, in the US, because of the regulations and stuff, there has to be a little bit of interaction. It can't be fully automated. Okay. So that's why there's the tap to trade. It's going to come through the technology. Bam. And Josh has figured all that out. Why? Because he's a tech wizard, right? Nobody's got this. Nobody's got tap to trade. Okay. You have your own money in your own brokerage account that you control, connected to your Akashics app and your MT5. If everything I said was Greek, just know that imagine having an expert trade for you, even if it's $200, even if it's $500. There's no minimum here. Okay. And all you got to do is tap a button and you have experts trading for you. We have that coming. It is happening now. And so what I would do right now is get on a BrandBuck subscription ASAP. If you haven't already done that, imagine having I'll wrap up with this. Imagine having your entire team on the first of every month do a $199 BrandBuck subscription. Now everybody's binary qualified. Everybody's active. There's no weird stuff going on. You're unranked in the back office. It's always kind of a letdown, like on the first of the month when you see those, the numbers kind of like not there yet because everything's kind of, the tank's filling back up again, right? But imagine getting everybody on a cadence every month. They're on that BrandBuck subscription, $199 on the first of the month. And they take 99 of that manually. They got to take 99 of that and just pay for their Akashic subscription. Now they have $100 left over to buy Fuel Factor X, to buy some XC trim, to buy some O-Snap, to buy whatever brands they want and start experiencing all the amazing products we have and the products that we are going to have in the future, because there's some major, major brands, some really cool stuff that's coming down the pike in the next 30, 60 days that each and every one of us are going to love. All right. So once again, guys, tap to trade. Josh has coined that phrase. Tap to trade. That's just amazing. It would seem like that was would be invented already, but guess what? We got it. And it's an amazing December, guys. And so it's separation season. Okay. Understand what we got, that we got to do the work because the work works on you, and let's rock and roll this thing. So David, I'm gonna hand it back to you, brother. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Jefferson, thanks for the kicking things off. Tap to trade. Interesting. I love separation season, honestly, because this is the opportunity where we can all separate ourselves from the pack. And sometimes you have to go against the grain a little bit. There's a herd mentality out there in the world. And sometimes when you're in that herd and within the pack, you can't differentiate yourself. You can't really, unleash yourself to the greatness that I think you all want. So thank you, Jefferson. Appreciate that. Okay. We're going to go to Mark Accetta right now. I think most of you know Mark Accetta. Those of you who are brand new, Mark is our director of training. We were at the View from the Edge in Nashville. That was my first trip to Nashville. What a great trip that was. But it was that's where I really kind of latched on. It's like, wow, like there are a lot of different ways to teach people the art of entrepreneurship, the art of network marketing specifically. But the way Mark does it is very unique, and there's always a story behind it. And he's going to help us all get things started here in December and really set the tone for 2024 as well. So good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great, David. Thanks for the invitation to be here. Excited to be here. Obviously, always great listening to my good buddy Jefferson give great information already. So I'm going to dive right in, and I'm going to start by taking a little deeper dive on what Jefferson was talking about and what you just referred to a little bit also, David, about separation season. One of the first things my mentor taught me was if you want to be great, you got to watch what everyone else does and then do the exact opposite, because average people are average for a reason. Most people obviously do not end up being wealthy. Most people do not end up getting what you and I really want to get. So I don't think too many of you got in this business so you could just have the same lifestyle you always had. We wanted to have more. So again, I want to talk to you about what's going on. We are going into the season, and this is human nature. And that's what I've always said. Human nature, there's good elements of human nature, obviously, but there's a lot of bad elements. And because of that, I'll be gainfully employed for the rest of my life, because a lot of our human nature works against that. And I didn't know that. I don't know what you learned in school, but I learned history, science, English, and math. I learned how many acts were in a Shakespearean play, 5, which is really nice to know, but it didn't help me make any money. It didn't help me have a better life. So what I started learning was all these things I did unconsciously. We've also heard that we're creatures of habit. So we do things with our unconscious mind without really thinking about it. So one of the things most everyone in the country in the world is doing right now is slowing down. We're getting close to the finish line. You know what I mean? So we're winding down, and the holidays are here. Come on, everyone loves don't you love the holidays? I love the holidays, from Thanksgiving through Christmas. I love it. And I used to be that guy before I got involved in this business, before I met my mentor, I would just at Thanksgiving, I would like kind of pull the pin, relax, settle down, and then kind of get geared up for a reboot on January 1st. And my mentor is like, that's what everyone else is doing. Watch what everyone else does and do the exact opposite. So he got into me and goes, look, Christmas is one day, not a month. It's not a week. It's one day. So if you want to be wealthy, are you willing to have a different Christmas season this year than most other people? Are you willing to keep working? Because the analogy I have is if you're in a car and you're going 100 miles an hour because the speed limit allows it, let's say you're on the Autobahn in Germany, and you're going 100 miles an hour, and then you slow down to zero, you come to a stoplight and you slow down to zero, it takes a lot of energy to get back up to 100. I'm sure you know this, but if you don't, when an airplane takes off, it burns about 75% of its fuel when it's taking off. So getting started again, rebooting, going from zero is a pain in the butt. So if your car is going 100 right now, we just came out of Black Friday. If you slow down to 50, meaning that even if you're going to slow down some, that's cool. I'm not saying you should be ridiculous and not have a Christmas. I'm just saying, what if you push yourself? Because we're entrepreneurs. We run our own business. The best thing about being an entrepreneur, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. I think the worst thing about being an entrepreneur, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. So most people go into this season and they go into holiday mode. They give themselves so much time off, so their car goes all the way down to zero. Well, what if it just slowed down to 50? So much easier to get it back to 100. And here's why. Because I don't know if you are into recruiting and building. I know a lot of you focus on selling products, and that's great, because the upside of selling products is everyone's conditioned to spend money right now. A lot of department stores run in the red, meaning they lose money for the majority of the year. But when we get to this part of the year till the end of the year, people spend so much money in the next 3 weeks. The companies have an overall profitable year just by how much money is spent. Think about how many times you maxed out your credit cards during the holiday season. So this is spending season. And a lot of you have this mindset of, well, people don't have money. You know what? A lot of them don't, but they're still going to spend it, because in America, it's charge it. If you don't have the money, it really doesn't matter. If you want something, you just find a credit card, you get a line of credit, and you buy it. So there's a lot of people. Think of the products we offer. Think of the wide variety of products we offer. Now with the marketplace, don't tell me there's not stuff in our marketplace that the people who are buying Christmas presents right now would definitely buy stuff for their loved ones from our marketplace, as long as they know about it. So selling's great, but I want to go into the recruiting part for a minute. And again, this is how really successful business, any successful business person, is not thinking about the right now only. They're thinking about what's next. So right now, I know some of y'all are into fashion, right? So it's winter time. So if you go into the stores now, you're going to see boots and you're going to see heavy jackets because it's winter time. But if you're working in a house of fashion right now, you're not working on your winter line. You're working on your spring or summer line. You're way down the road, because that's what's coming next. And it's definitely going to come. Well, how many of you have ever made a New Year's resolution? I bet all of you have made a New Year's resolution. Who hasn't made a New Year's resolution? Last year, and I know this has been true for a while, over 100 million Americans made a resolution that they were going to lose weight. 100 million. How many think that's a fairly large target market? So we have a product or products that can help with that, but more people make a resolution that they're going to make more money in the new year. So there's two big ones. I'm going to be healthier, I'm going to be thinner, and I'm going to make more money. So we've got the answer to all that. So here's the thing with the recruiting part. A lot of people max out their credit cards during the holiday. They can't help themselves. That's how they're conditioned. So they need more money. But then you have what's going on with the economy, man. I just, every time I go to the grocery store, I don't know about you, but I go, what? Like, how did bananas become so expensive? How did this become so much? So people need extra money. They really do. So we're going to have this sea of people because the average person is in holiday mode. They've hit the brakes. They're coasting to the finish line. But come January 1st, they're going to re-engage, and now they're going to be actively looking for ways to make money. So here's my question. How many of you have ever had a dog or have a dog or a cat? Cool. And when you have a grown dog, you know, a 4, 5, 6, 8-year-old dog or cat, you know, they're an adult, they chill out a little bit. But how many have ever had a puppy? A puppy. I have a puppy right now. We have a black lab puppy, and it's like, whoa, this dog is all over the place all day. And would you agree, a kitten or a puppy's energy is contagious? I mean, you can't help but love when it. Well, how many of you all want? If you have a bunch of mature reps or affiliates on your team, that's one thing. But when you get kittens and puppies, when you get that brand new affiliate, like Jefferson said, that first stage, uninformed optimism, like, whoa, okay. Well, they are in that mode. Here's what you want. January is recruiting season. Whether you want it to be or not, there are millions and millions of excellent prospects. They're going to be more open than any other time of the year in January. So it's recruiting season. So even if you make the shift to go into massive recruiting mode during January, how many puppies do you have, brand new people on your team that you got started in January? Because while everyone else is waiting until January, you take action now, because if you have 5 or 10 brand new people that are hitting it hard, going to their warm market in January because you thought ahead to do this work in December, then you get off to a great start. Now, who doesn't want to get off to a great start? Next year, we all want to get off to a great start, but I'm telling you, the way you get off to a great start in January is you put your head down and go to work now. Introduce as many people to the opportunities you possibly can. You have so many reasons to do this. You also have what Jefferson just saw, the Akashics thing. Now, again, like Jefferson, I'm not an experienced trader, but if you have anyone on earth or you yourself have any desire to learn how to trade, this is about as good as it's going to get. So there's so many things here. You have all the products we could sell for Christmas presents. You have the trading deal that's going on that's brand new that really could take off. You've got to get ready for all the recruiting happening in January. So the bottom line is, don't slow up. You know, again, I'll go back to the phrase my mentor taught me: watch what everyone else is doing, then do the exact opposite. You know, I haven't worked with my mentor in over 25 years. So in my life, I've had other coaches, other people I've looked up to, and I keep learning. I'm sure, like many of you, I'm a lifelong learner. I cannot stop learning enough. I love to read things, find out from people who have best practices of what's going on. So one of the people that's really become a mentor coach from afar, I've never met him, unfortunately, but is the head football coach at Alabama. They got a big game today. His name is Nick Saban. Won more national championships than anyone else. And Nick does a lot of lecturing in the off season for businesses, because universal success principles are universal success principles, meaning if you can build a championship football team with them, then you can also apply them to virtually anything else in your life. And this is what he says that I want to share with you. There are 5 ways that you can do anything, meaning results wise. You can either be poor at doing something, bad at doing it. That's one way. That's the way a lot of people are. You can be average at it. That's obviously the way a lot of people are. Third one is you can be good at it. And that's nice. It's nice to be good at doing something. You can be great at it, which is way better than being good at it. And then last but not least, you can be elite. There's a book called Outliers. I don't know if you ever heard of Outliers, but if you haven't read it, you should. Malcolm Gladwell, one of the most analytical human beings on earth. And he wrote this book about an outlier, if you don't know it, is a statistical term. And it means, like, you know, if all these other numbers are fairly close to each other, but then you got one that's way out there. So in practicality, Michael Jordan would be an outlier in basketball. Tiger Woods would be an outlier in golf. Baryshnikov would be an outlier in the ballet world, and so on and so forth. These people are so much better than everyone else. And what he says is the average person becomes an outlier spends over 10,000 hours doing what they're doing. So it's a lot of time. A lot of you guys have got in and you want to have instant success. You want to put your success in a microwave, hit 2 minutes, and then have it come out. And it just doesn't work that way. Jefferson, if he was back, I mean, his story is, I think he recruited 3 people in his first 2 years or 2 people in his first 3 years. Jefferson got off to a very, very bad start. But I promise you, a lot of you, if you could trade what you've earned in the industry with what Jefferson's earned, you would do in a heartbeat. He has made an absolute fortune because he looked long-term, because he read every book, because he went to every seminar. So again, his goal was to be elite. So I want to back up again. Poor, average, good, great, and elite. Okay, now this is a really serious question. So I know we're going through a lot. I know it's hard to keep your attention on a Zoom. I get it. So hear what I'm saying right now. When you look at what you're doing with My Daily Choice, if you were genuinely grading yourself right now, how are you doing? Are you bad at it? Are you average at it? Are you good at it? Are you great at it? Or are you elite? So make a note, check it off, write it down, make a note in your head. So how are you right now? Okay, now how you are right now, here's the great news. How you are right now doesn't matter because it's all about tomorrow. What's next? Okay, so we're going into a new year. You're rebooting. So now let's look at the next thing. What do you want to do with your MDC career? Do you want to be bad at it? That's unlikely. Do you want to be average at it? That's unlikely. Do you want to be good at it? Maybe that's your objective, to be good. Do you want to be great, or do you want to be elite? Ask yourself, for real. We're getting a brand new deal. You get to start from scratch. So which do you want to be? And now I'm going to tell you the key to a lot of this that most people don't understand. Because a lot of people, excuse me, write down a goal. Like again, think about this one for a minute. How many people make a New Year's resolution? I go to a gym on a regular basis, try to stay in pretty good shape. And in January, and I know any of you go to a gym know what I'm talking about here. When you go to a gym in January, wow, there's a lot of people there. And it's like jam-packed. And it's never jam-packed. It's just, always a moderate amount of people. So if I want to lift this weight, I can. If I want to get on that treadmill, I can. But not in January. In January, everyone made a New Year's resolution. And for the first 2 weeks of January, it's mobbed. Now, you know what's sad? By the 3rd week of January, it dwindles down. And by February 15th, we're totally back to normal. So a lot of people have these desires, but they don't stick with them long term. So what I'm trying to get to here, guys, is you can make a real shift. But if you want to go from average to great or average to elite, I'm telling you, here is the thing. Go back to those 5 things again. Poor, average, good, great, elite. Here's the key to it. How do you see yourself? And that's different than asking how you're doing right now. Okay, I understand that maybe right now you're not doing well, but when you look in the mirror, okay, this is a very interesting thing. I've always believed this, but then I read a study from Oxford years ago, Oxford University in England, and it said, the longer someone looks in a mirror, the more dissatisfied we become with our appearance. Now, if you stop and think about, and by the way, this doesn't mean not so good looking people. This means people that are, we're in LA, we're in Beverly Hills on a little 2-day, 3-day break with my wife. We went to a very trendy restaurant last night. You looked around. I mean, it is true, man. Every good looking person in America comes to Southern California because they want to be an actor or an actress. So even these very good looking people, they look in the mirror, and the longer they look, the more dissatisfied they become with their appearance. Now, why is that? This is important because they're looking for what's wrong with themselves. Even beautiful people find that little thing that's wrong. Well, when you look in the mirror right now, and let me reference again, how many have seen on the internet, somewhere on social media, the image of the little kitten? Go back to kittens. It's a kitten training today. And they're looking into a full-length mirror. And when the little kitten looks into the full-length mirror, what's the reflection they see back? They see a lion. They see a big, powerful, amazing lion. Well, guess what? for years, it turns out I was a lion. But when I looked in the mirror, I saw a kitten. So what do you see yourself as? Do you see yourself as poor, average, good, great, or elite? Because it all starts with the way you see yourself. So my mentor kept saying, look, you can be amazing at this. If you have someone on your team, you've got to speak life into them, man. The Bible, it says the power of life and death is in your tongue. So you have people on your team. And let me also share this with you. Everyone's talking about how network marketing has changed. And of course it's changed. Everything changes. But everyone acts like it's changed so radically. Here's something, because universal success laws are universal success laws. I don't care if you say this to someone on a Zoom or in person. The technology might have changed, but this has never changed. My mentor was the first person who looked me in the eyes and said, you can be amazing. You can be a superstar. Are you doing that with people on your team? Are you taking a guy like Jefferson, who's gone a year and a half, 2 years with virtually no results or terrible results, putting your arm around him, or at least doing a virtual call with him, going, you know what, man, I believe in you. You can be a superstar. You can get that new home, because speaking life into people will never go out of vote. If you got a network marketing team and you're not doing that, well, then you're not going to get a lot of great results, because human beings right now, until AI takes over the world, human beings are the ones that are going to be in your downline. So you've got to start realizing, what do we do to connect with human beings? People don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. Maybe you got people on your team, you keep telling them what to do, you keep training them, but you haven't shown them you care about them. Once they know you care about them, they're going to receive your words a lot more fully. So again, look at those things. Which way do you see yourself? Here's me. I saw myself as average. I didn't see myself as poor, bad. I saw myself as average. If you keep seeing yourself as average, whatever you see yourself as, that's the results you're going to get. So you could have this desire for 2024 that I'm going to be a wealthy, but if you look in that mirror and you see average, it ain't going to happen. You got to start looking in the mirror, and instead of looking for what's wrong with you, look for what's right with you. For some of you, you really don't do that. And if I were to sit down with you, or any of our top leaders would sit down with you and spend a half an hour with you, we could point out 2 or 3 things about you that we admire and we feel that are strong strengths. And the crazy thing is, we see them, but you don't see them. I do a training called Breakthrough, and we actually sit in groups of 6. And there's one point later into the 4 or 5 day event where you sit down with everyone in your group and you've been with them for a couple of hours, and you write down 5 things that you have figured out that you really admire about those people in that short period of time. Then you go around the group and you read your list to them about the things you admire. And it's the most amazing science experiment. 99% of the time, the people who are hearing what other people are saying about them find it hard to believe all these nice things people are saying about them. Why? Because when we look in the mirror, we find what's wrong with ourselves. So yes, I'm not saying you should just always give yourself a break and never have some real evaluation of what's going on. But for heaven's sakes, give yourself a break. There's something that's great inside you. There's certainly something that's good inside you. So start, and here, let me go back to this. I don't want to lose it. I was a lion. Like, I've had a lot of success. I have had lion success. But I was having kitten results, even though I was a lion. Many of you are also lions. You've got to see yourself as a lion. Now let's sprint as a lion into 2024. The past shouldn't. I've heard it said the past doesn't determine the future. You know what? A lot of times it does, because I'm sure you've heard the law of attraction. If you're focusing on your past and you're vibrating low because you've never done much before and you don't expect much, then the past ends up determining the future, which is bad. The past shouldn't determine the future. If you haven't had a good run at it, I was 27, 28 years old. I've had no success. I lived in a 1-room apartment. That means it was 1 room, not a 1 bedroom. That means there's a bedroom and another room. I had everything in 1 room. I had a car that got bashed in. I had an accident. Someone hit me on the passenger side. I couldn't afford the deductible on my insurance policy. I drive around with a bashed in car for almost 2 years. I know what it's like to be broke. When you see yourself as a kitten, that's the kind of life that you lead. So that was my big shift. He started saying, you are amazing. You can do this. And I didn't immediately go from seeing myself as average to elite, but I went from seeing myself from average to good. And then when I had some good results, I went crazy and said, well, what if I look at myself as great? Like, can I do what these people are great? And eventually I saw myself as elite. I saw myself as one of the best who's ever done this business, guys. So again, there's so much that we can teach you, so much we can train you, but you have to understand your human nature works against you a lot of the time. Remember the words I said earlier today. What the best thing about the industry, you can do whatever you want. The worst thing about it is you can do whatever you want. Don't become the coolest boss you've ever had during this holiday season. If you were actually your boss, be hard on you during this holiday season. Don't allow you to let your car go all the way down to zero. Make sure you are making you recruit some new puppies on your team so that when we go into wild recruiting season in January, it's not just going to be you. It's not just going to be your existing team, but you'll have some wide-eyed enthusiasm people along with you. This business is not that hard. It does take activity. We've got to take activity. So I'll leave you with this thought. Who are you going to call today? Who are you going to text today? Who are you going to message today? Because people aren't going to walk up to you in the mall and go, excuse me, but do you work for a product that has something called brand bucks? I'm a psychic friend and I'm getting a brand buck vibe from you. That's not going to happen. You've got to go tell people. When you tell them, you don't just tell them average. Again, think of that list of those 5 things, everything all the time. If you were a great or elite rep for this company, what would your next presentation look like? Because the bottom line is it is possible. I'm just telling you, and I'll leave you with this. It is possible for anyone on this Zoom to go from poor or average to elite, to being one of the greatest that's ever done this company, and you're in control of it. It's going to take time and it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it is possible. If you want that elite lifestyle, if you want to live a life beyond your wildest dreams financially, it's within your grasp. But the first thing you have to do is you have to change the way you see yourself. So that's, pardon me, that's all I've got for today. David, I'm going to turn it back to you. Have a great holiday season.
Awesome, Mark. That was a really, really good insight. As always, we really love your perspective. So thank you for doing that. And let me just kind of transition and to kind of share a brief story. I've been involved in the network marketing profession for 30 years now, a little over 30 years. And for the first 4 years, I had that issue. When I looked into the mirror, I didn't see a lion. As a matter of fact, I think I thought I was, but I didn't see it, and was probably average as a result. So at the end of that first 4 years, I had a residual income in that particular endeavor of less than $100 a month. And I tell you that because it took a shift that both Jefferson and Mark have shared with you that, A, I had to think bigger. B, I had to make a decision. C, I had to get out of my own way, not make myself the issue. D, I had to follow the process, the system, the tools, so on and so forth. So, it's as Mark said, this is not a difficult business unless you make it difficult. And so what I'm going to share with you over the next 10 minutes or so is I'm going to continue the trend on this concept of prospecting in the months of December and setting yourself up for the new year. I'm going to give you my perspective, maybe some practical approaches, the way I do it. And my hope is that you get some value from it where you can relate and kind of apply it yourself. So as far as the month of December is concerned, in my experience, it's one of the single best months of the year to plant seeds. Why is that? Well, first of all, you're interacting with people. You tend to come across a lot of people, right? Number two, this is the time of the year that people are thinking about change. And that's the only constant in life. So people are thinking about, they're trying to get through the holidays, but they're thinking about what happened in the previous, 11, 12 months. They're thinking about, what do I want for the new year? And so it's one of the most fertile opportunities to have those conversations because people are evaluating their life. They're evaluating their future and what they want it to be. And so my advice on that, something that I've always kind of adhered to, is to be proactive versus reactive. I think Mark and Jefferson are spot on. If you just drag your way through the holidays and say, hey, I'll get to it in the new year, the reality is the majority of a good portion of the people will have already made a decision, will be already on their way. And again, that's kind of inner law. So being proactive, connecting and inquiring, and as Mark mentioned, being the light, being the solution to somebody else's challenge is a good thing. So here's what I say to people. I always train this every time this year. So take this to heart. When it comes to going out and talking to people during this month, you don't have to pitch them on your product or your business per se. You don't have to do that. You know, there's other approaches to get the dialogue going where people will lean into you. I think one of the most obvious questions is, especially if it's somebody who you haven't spoke to in a while, is how was your year? Just ask open-ended questions to get the dialogue going. How was your year? And then they're going to tell you, they're going to show their cards as to what's happening in their life. If you can't see it on social, you know, what's happening in their world, right? And so transition from there and simply ask, what was the best thing that happened to you this year? It forces people to think as to what their high of the year was, right? And if their response is like kind of melancholy, then you know that they are due for an uptick. If they are excited about something that happened, whether their business grew, whether their family expanded, whether they got a promotion, whatever excites them, that there lies your opportunity to champion that and really recognize that for them. And people love that recognition. And then thirdly, think about the next year. Like, get people thinking about the next year. If there was one thing that you could accomplish in 2024, what would it be? And wait for the answer. Because if you just ask that simple question, wait for the answer, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to be in a position to open up the kimono, if you will, about My Daily Choice, about a particular product, or as I always do, I lead with the business. And the reason I lead with the business, and this isn't for everybody, but the reason I lead with the business is because I'm convicted around the fact that the business is the best product. I've realized after my first 4 years of blundering around and finally found the right mentor, that it is all about helping people. So another angle that you may consider taking on this is the reasons why everybody should operate some type of home-based business. It's one thing to go out there and pitch somebody on your business opportunity. It's another thing to provide a solution. So the number one thing that I've always told people, and just let me preface this, I am not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. I'm not here to be your accountant, but I am a finance guy. And I've been self-employed my entire life. And one of the single number one benefits of our industry are the tax benefits. And it just blows me away every year. And I think, look, we have 228 people on here. I am willing to bet that a large portion of you're personally not taking advantage to the fullest the tax deductibility of expenses that you have at your disposal as a result of receiving a 1099 each year. Okay, so if that's not you, maybe take some notes on this, but at the same time, maybe reach out to your accountant, or you can simply Google this stuff. This is really at your hands, right? But I want to put things in perspective here. How many of you have a phone or internet access? Okay, we all do, right? I don't know what you're paying. I'm paying $700 a month for mine because I've got 5 people on a line and all this other stuff going on. But just for yourself, you're probably spending around $1,500 to $2,000 a year on your phone and your internet. When you're self-employed, when you receive a 1099, you have justification to have a complete tax write-off on that. How many of you have traveled this year in some capacity, whether it be for My Daily Choice or anything else for that matter? Well, again, I don't know if any of you all from the IRS, but here's the truth. Like, if you're going out there traveling and you're in the pursuit of profit and you have conversations or have at least one meeting in that process, okay, a portion of that can be written off. Okay, and in some cases, how many were in Miami Beach? That whole experience can be 100% written off. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Health insurance. I don't know. Many of you may have health insurance. I'm self-employed. I do have health insurance, but it's I pay it myself, right? 100%. those premiums tax deductible. There's startup costs to the business. We all know that. That's, you know, there's home office expenses that if you want to stretch the rubber band a little bit, you can do. We all have product samples, right? I mean, look, the truth is, you can say whatever you want, you know, if you ever get audited, but you know, if you're ordering products and you're sampling them out, you should be taking a tax deduction on that. There's meals, there's entertainment, there's subscriptions and publications that you may subscribe to. Maybe if you're profitable enough, you have the ability to, you know, open up a SEP IRA and make that contribution. All of this, by the way, reduces your adjusted gross income down. Okay, which at the end, whether you're in the 10% tax bracket or the 40% tax bracket, it's helping you save money in your taxes. Why do I say all this to you guys? I say this not only for your own personal good, but a lot of the people that you're prospecting out there, you can ask them very simply, are you taking advantage of the tax code that the self-employed do? Okay, and if you're just a little educated on this, you're putting yourself in a position to you know, enhance the probability of enrolling somebody into your network marketing business. Okay, a little bit of a different approach. It's not always just like, hey, join my business, we're excited, we got this product, we got that product, watch this video. I mean, look, that is part of the process. But what I found over time is that if you really get into providing a solution for somebody, people lean in, they open their minds to things. So with that said, what should your approach be? Well, look, there's only two things we do in this business. We get customers and we get customer getters, right? We get affiliates. So there's customers and there's affiliates. And there's really kind of two core approaches. You're either going to approach people directly or you're going to approach them indirectly. And it's been my experience that, and this is not only for myself, but I think maybe for a lot of you, is that sometimes there's some apprehension to approach somebody directly because you're thinking, oh, I'm brand new, or I haven't had any success yet, or I'm not making money, or I'm not known as an entrepreneur. How can I possibly speak, you know, with that light? I'm here to tell you, if that is you and you feel one bit uncomfortable, then you have to pivot. You have to pivot to the very simple, the indirect approach. Who do you know? And that's a very simple approach where you can tell people what you're doing, tell people very specifically what you're looking for, and ask them who they know. And if you want to become successful in that process, the first thing in this world where people are just not paying attention all the time, there's a lot of, you know, white noise running around, is you need to get people to listen to you, right? How do you do that? Pay them a compliment, right? Just pay them a compliment. And it's very easy to do. Even for the people you haven't spoke to in a while, you can go into their Instagram or their Facebook feed. You can find out what's going on in their world and just simply pay them a compliment. And when you do that, they tend to disarm and be open to what you have to say and have a conversation. Okay. And I think it was Jefferson in the beginning that said it, like, just, this is another piece for your prospecting efforts, is that you need to understand what the prospect is really thinking. Right? The first thing they really want to know is, what is this? What is this? And I, you know, look, Mark mentioned that the network marketing profession has changed. Well, of course it is. It's the only constant in life is change, as I mentioned before, but don't hide from that. You know, you have to be bold and proud to represent this profession in order to be effective. So they're going to ask themselves, what is this? The second thing they're going to ask themselves is, does it work? Okay. And in the process of, does it work? If it's working for you, you can articulate that. If it's working for others, you can edify and tell that story. Okay. So they're asking, does it work? Thirdly, will it work for me? And this is a really, really important piece, that if you are out there and talking to people and making yourself the issue and making the presentation yourself, the person is going to naturally look at it and say, well, I don't know, you know, if this works for me, because I can't ultimately do that, which leads me to the fourth piece is, can I do it? And so in your process of prospecting, make sure you're using the right tools, make sure you're edifying others properly. You know, you're creating connect calls and not making yourself the issue, because if you do it that way, people will be more inclined to say, you know what, I think I can do this. Okay, I think I can do this. So that's really what I have. And the other thing I'll mention before I bring on the next speaker is that it's not about promoting the features of network marketing and entrepreneurship as much as the benefits. Okay. I really believe it. Even with the products, it's kind of interesting. Like I look back on my career, there was a time where there was these things called the ORAC wars, right? There was a lot of juice deals going on. There was Zango and Monavie and all these other deals, right? And so everybody was kind of comparing all these features of the products. It's not necessary to do that. People react and buy on impulse and on benefits. So focus on the benefits, and the benefits of network marketing are very vast. But look, people are looking to work from home. COVID has actually, from a couple of years ago, has actually forced people into that mentality. Everybody was forced into a box. And then a good portion of those people didn't want to get out of that box. They're like, oh, I can do this, right? So, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who are still traveling. They're out and about, and they would like to get back into that space. So just understand that the value of working from home. They're also looking for an online business model. Look, I'm in the real estate space and very happy in the multifamily, but the commercial side of things is not pretty. It's not pretty at all, and it's going to get a lot worse. And people are realizing that the cost associated with starting a brick and mortar is extraordinarily high. It's extraordinarily high. And so people are looking for an online business model. And at My Daily Choice, we're in a situation where we can put you in business with your own online e-commerce business, where you can represent a host of amazing brands, have all the tools at your disposal to market it for very little investment. And oh, by the way, the investment is tax deductible, but very, very little outlay. Social media. I'm not really big on social media. A lot of people are, but realize the people that you're speaking to, if you're talking to somebody who has a social media presence, is really excited about that, then why not let them know that, hey, you can, I don't know if you're interested in this, but you could monetize your following. You could monetize the effort that you're putting in the social media if you're interested, by representing a company like this. Okay. We all know about the recurring revenue. I can't emphasize enough. There is a bigger, the gap between the haves and the have-nots continues to broaden. Like the 80-20 rule is alive and well. What's keeping this economy afloat are the 20%ers that are still where the liquidity is still there. But the truth of the matter is, the absolute truth is 80% of the people are challenged. The average credit card debt has gone up. People are behind on their rent, their mortgages. I mean, people don't get up on the rooftops of their home and profess those things. They just don't. Okay. So to Mark's point earlier, if you don't ask them, you won't know. Okay. And so people are just like in this cocoon, and they need to be liberated. They need to be empowered that there is an opportunity for them to go from good to great. Okay. And who wrote that book, Good to Great? I think it was, I can't remember. I'll think about it for the things, and I'll put it in the chat, but there was a book called Good to Great. So even if you're, what was it Mark said? I think it was poor, average, good, great, and elite. I mean, look, I've been in elite status, but I've also fallen off that elite status and gone down to good. That's the truth. And so if you've been there or you're still climbing that ladder, it's okay. This is your deal, right? This is your journey. Myself, nobody else is here to tell you what you need to do. This is a exercise of looking in the mirror as that kitten. By the way, I'm allergic to cats. I don't even know what to give this thing. I'm almost going to sneeze on this, but look in the mirror and see that lion, embrace it, and flat out own it. So with that said, that's just my perspective on prospecting. It's a little bit more kind of philosophical, if you will, but hopefully you can take some of that and apply it in this month of December, and then really set yourself up, for an amazing 2024. So with that said, I'm going to bring on our next speaker, Dr. Dana McGrady. She's from Palm Harbor, Florida. She's a doctor of Oriental medicine. She's been involved in network marketing very successfully for the last 10 years. And she's got some great things to kind of share with you about, going from a customer to an affiliate, helping people go from customer to affiliate. In other words, helping people go from spending money to making money. So with that said, good morning, Dana.
Hi. All right. But we got to get David a kitten. Hi, everyone. How you feeling? Thank you so much for that info, Dave. Jefferson was incredible. Mark Aceta, like, how about Mark Aceta? He just has a way of shifting your brain into go mode, right? And he has a way of like pushing us to just get into a higher version of ourselves, right? So I love Mark. Thank you, David, for all that info. That was pretty amazing because David's been one of my mentors in this whole time doing network marketing. There are times where you have to lean on people better than you, right? You have to lean on people that are actually doing it in a bigger way. And so that's what every single one of you gets to do when you get on a Super Saturday. And what I get to do is I get to surround myself with greatness. I get to surround myself with those that are in the arena, maybe getting their booties whooped, right? Maybe it's not working out. Maybe we're figuring it out. Maybe we're climbing out of a hole. Whatever it is, you're surrounding yourselves with those that are doing it. So I'm just going to say congratulations for being on. Congratulations for doing it, for linking arms with all of us and running this awesome race as we take MDC to the next level. And you're going to hear from Candace Bird Davis next. And she is going to fire this whole Zoom up. So do not go anywhere. You have to hear what Candace's training is because she's just one of my favorite humans and one of the best trainers. So, all right, guys, getting your customers to go from spending money in the mode of spending money. We want them to still spend their money, right? Because we have great products. We want to shift everyone from Amazon to My Daily Choice. We want to shift everyone from Target, from Walmart, from wherever they're shopping to our marketplace, because we have a home with some of the most incredible products, with testimonials, with the kind of products that you just want to tell your friends about, right? And we want to take them from spending their money other places to spending their money at My Daily Choice. And this last week and a half with this Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale, first of all, the biggest sale we've ever had in MDC history. And I want to know in the chat, I really want to get to know each of you a little bit better. So I want you to tell me in the chat, what was your favorite thing about your experience with the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale? Put it in the chat. I want to know, what did you learn from it? What was your favorite thing? What are you proud of yourself about? Like, just give yourself some acclimates in the chat. I want to know, what was your favorite thing? How did your business grow? And what did you prove to yourself as you stepped out of your comfort zone? Put that in the chat, okay? I want to read through them later, and I'm going to love every second of it. And you're going to light everyone else up, okay? Because we all give each other an energy exchange when we get on Super Saturday. So what did you love about the Black Friday sale? How did you step out of your comfort zone? Okay. And so now I want you to think about all of that momentum, all of that energy you put into that sale, right? The activity that you got into, that consistency. I loved how Jefferson said consistency, right? Being consistent and then working on yourself every day and then turning yourself from good to great. And so what did you do during that sale that made you proud? And then I want you to think about all that energy you exerted in the sale and then turning people into spending money into making money, right? Because we want to build your businesses out of this. We want to build your business out of this sale and turn it into growing a residual income for you. And so I want to teach you how to shift people from being customers to affiliates, because most people are comfortable in the customer mode. They maybe have thought about building an online business. Maybe they don't know how to do it. Maybe they don't have a roadmap. Maybe they don't know it's a possibility, right? So this is how I do it. I love to give people a light bulb moment. How do you do this? You do this by asking questions. You do this by giving people the best thing that you could ever give them is your time, your energy, your attention. And we live in a busy world. We live in a social media world. And so sometimes just taking a few minutes to have a conversation with one of your loyal customers. I do this sometimes with my patients because I have a lot of patients that are madly in love with our products, right? XE Trim is a staple in my clinic. Why? Because it gives people trace minerals, it gives people energy, it helps people combat insulin resistance, right? It helps curbs their appetite, it gives them the nootropics for their brain, has so many great benefits. And so when I'm talking to a patient that's been taking XC-Trim every day, I always like to turn on that part of their brain that makes them think bigger. Okay. So one of the best ways to do this, and it happened with me at the beginning, I was just a customer. I felt like I was so overwhelmed with life. I felt like I was kind of in a hole as far as I didn't know how much money I was really bringing home at the end of the month, owning 2 brick and mortar clinics, and the overhead was very high. I had 2 small toddlers at home, and I had just found out I was pregnant with my 3rd surprise baby. And it just put me in this feeling of overwhelm that when I started trying the products in the network marketing company, and I loved the products, the woman that sold the products to me as a customer said to me, "Have you ever thought about building a residual income?" And I look at her like, I honestly don't even know what that is, right? So a lot of people are confused as to what is possible with My Daily Choice, right? They don't know yet the possibilities. And so you're there to hold their hand. Like Jefferson said, say we and us in any conversation with a prospect, and you're there to hold their hand. You're there to link arms with them, and also just open up their mind as to what the possibility is. Okay, so you're opening up their mind. We're not closing people, we're opening them, right? We're opening up their mind to the prospect of to the possibility of what they could do. Have you ever thought about building a residual income? When she said that to me, a light bulb went on and it made me curious. So anytime you're talking to a customer that's madly in love with our products at My Daily Choice, it's pretty easy to be madly in love with our products. I look around my desk right now and I've got Snap right here. I've got my XC-Trim. I've got my Body Melt greens, right? I've got the espresso Snap, which these are pretty epic, by the way, guys. I've got my hemp coffee. I've got my CBD gummies. I'm madly in love with the products. They're easy to fall madly in love with. And when you're talking to a customer that's only in spending money mode, but secretly in their life, they're probably overwhelmed like I was. They're probably having things, the battles that they're going through that they don't discuss with others, right? Everyone's healing from a battle that they don't discuss. And so when that happens, you literally have to find a way to open their mindset. So if they're in overwhelm and they're spending money during this spending season, maybe you could open up their mind. And so when she said, "Have you ever thought about building residual income?" And I kind of looked at her and I said, "I don't even know what that means." Her answer to me was, it's when you build a customer base by sharing your affiliate link and you get paid every single month, no matter if you talk to that customer or not. So the work you do now, you get paid for years to come. Is that something that would interest you? I mean, I don't know anyone that wouldn't be interested in that, right? I don't know anyone that wouldn't be interested in a residual income, an income that comes every month, no matter what. Like that appealed to me. Put a 1 in the chat if that appeals to you guys. Right? So when someone's in spending money mode and probably secretly overwhelmed, you're offering them a way out. You're offering them an option to be able to build an online business. You're offering them an option to work on themselves, the personal development, the family that we have with MDC. All of those things have added so much to my life. Right? So you're like welcoming them into this beautiful world of personal development, business development, growing on themselves, and then the family that we have with MDC. You're offering them an option of possibly going to Jamaica with us. Like, I want to be in Jamaica with every single one of you. I can't wait to do selfies on the beach in Jamaica with every single one of you. I'm excited about that. That enriches my life. And so when you have a customer that's just spending money, and maybe overwhelmed. Maybe they have credit card bills to pay, right? I know they probably do, right? They want to be able to have money for their family. It's as simple as opening their mind. So here are a few things that I say to them. I plant seeds. And in these seeds, there's a little pocket of vision. And also what's possible of what they could do, whether it's simple. I always start small. I don't start too big. So I plant seeds like, have you ever thought about building a residual income? Are you open to earning an additional income outside of what you're currently doing? Have you ever thought of, girlfriend, if you really love that XC trim, you can easily get your own website code to share with people. If you're loving it and you're around a bunch of girlfriends and you decide to hand them a few packets, you can give them your own link. So I just plant little seeds. It's about looking for opportunities and recognizing that this Black Friday sale just happened and there are diamonds in your contact manager right now. Diamonds. And it's about sifting through all the contact manager contacts of people that ordered, inactive affiliates that came back, new customers that came because you were just telling everyone about this incredible sale. And those people are going to be getting their products in. And if you give them your time, your effort, and a few minutes of your attention by just reaching out to them, how are you loving your CBDA? I know that's a new product. I've been hearing that people are having the most incredible sleep. If you are having any testimonials about the CBDA, put it in the chat right now. I want to know if you're trying that product, how you feel. All I'm hearing is that people are having the most amazing sleep of their life, that it's really helping with inflammation, with pain. 2 drops under my tongue and I sleep deeper than I've ever slept. I literally wake up refreshed and restored. That product is incredible, right? So I want to be looking for opportunities to give the stories that I'm hearing to these customers that are now ordering, that also have their own little pocket of network of people that they could share these stories with. And if they decide they might want to make some extra spending cash, because we feed babies baby food, and we have to crawl before we walk before we run, and we have to hold their hand through that process. So it's just planting little seeds of opening up their brain to, you could start earning your own income. And I'm going to do it with you, and I'll help you along the way, because everyone started somewhere. I started as a customer that was overwhelmed with my own life, with my own bills, not feeling like I was getting ahead in life. And someone reached out, gave me a hand and said, are you open to earning a residual income? And that one line opened up this pocket in my brain that made me think bigger and gave me this beautiful profession of network marketing. But I did crawl first, right? I did crawl first, but I did recognize in that moment that I was open. So I want you guys to open up a lot of customers, ask the right questions, sift through your contact manager, and make sure that you find some customers that might want to join you in business, or some inactive affiliates that are ready for it. So I'm going to shift this back to David. I can't wait to hear Candace Bird Davis. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to take notes. I cannot wait to get the roadmap to get to Jamaica with all of you. And I want to have the best December ever. December to remember, and finish this year strong with every single one of you. Thank you, David.
Yaman.
Yaman.
Yaman. Okay, let's transition. Our last speaker for the morning is Candace. She is amazing. I mean, I'll just echo everything that Dana said about her. She's an absolute rock star entrepreneur, but above that, her energy is just magnetic. And so there's no better person to kind of bring it all home. And she's got some great information, y'all. So stick with her here on this. Candace, good morning. How are you?
I am doing awesome and amazing. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. Pittsburgh, let's go.
Yeah, tomorrow we're taking on the Cardinals. We got it. Don't even worry about it, sweetheart. I saw everybody talking about the 49ers. We ain't worried about that. The Steelers are taking on the 49ers. We're taking another ring this year. I hate to upset all y'all. But anyway, I am fired up and excited to be here. I feel like, Dave, this is kind of like a setup. you know, you had me come behind all of this greatness. And I'm like, dang, what am I supposed to talk about? But anyways, I'm fired up and excited. I got to give it back to the incredible leadership team that came before me on this call: Jefferson Santos, Dave Skalketti, Mark Aceta, Dr. D. We go way back like two flats on a Cadillac. You know I love you, girl. But guys, I'm fired up and excited about what is happening in this company, what is happening in our teams, and what is coming for 2024. So I need you guys to pop it up in the chat. I need you to type out 2024, I'm believing in more. Okay? Because at the end of the day, I'm one of those firm believers that thoughts become things. So 2024, we're believing in more. And today I'm going to share with you guys some of my tips. A lot of the leaders today talked about recruiting and retailing. Dr. D talked about retailing to recruiting and all of that. And I'm going to give you like a little bit of mix of everything, because I write notes down, because I'll go ADD on you and I'll go way out in left field. And because we're virtual, you guys can't come and grab me. So, you know, one of the things I want you guys to understand, but in 2024, if you're believing in more, it's going to start with being intentional. And I want you to write that word down. I want you to become intentional about your business. I want you to become intentional about what you want out of your business. Because you see, when I got into network marketing in 2014, I wasn't a rock star. You know, I was just one of those parents who had just went through, like they talked about earlier, I believe it was Jefferson talked about it. I went through 2 repossessions and a foreclosure all within a 45-day period. I wasn't looking for residual income. I wasn't looking for network marketing. I was just looking to make an extra $500 a month, because my foreclosure lawyer told me that that's what I needed to keep out of foreclosure. Boom, bet, say less. So when I stumbled on this industry, as Mark talked about, you know, were you poor, were you good, were you great, were you better, best, elite, all of that, I had no clue. One thing that I knew is that I was a student. And one of my mentors always told me, it's okay to be a copycat as long as you find the right cat to copy. And I always made sure that I followed and I emulated people like Dr. Dana, people like Dave, people like Jefferson Santos, because I saw the success that they had, and that's what I needed. That's what I needed to survive. Because I want you to understand, all of us on here today, we came here today to give you some nuggets to take your business to the next level. We don't need you to win. We want you to win. The person who needs you to win is the person that's up underneath your roof today, right in between them 4 walls. It's your family. We came here today because we want you to win. Now, going into it, one of the things that I understood was at the end of every year, I do it every single time. I write my new vision for 2024. What is the vision that you have for your business and yourself in 2024? You know, if we go biblically, it says, write the vision and make it plain, make it clear, be precise, be intentional. I understood my mission, okay? And I set goals. And goals can mean a couple things, but mine was at the time, go out and live. My goal now is go out and lead. What is my goal to become a better leader? And then with the goals, here's what I want you guys to understand. You can go into 2024 without any goals. You could say, hey, Candace, that sounds so cliche. That's stupid. I'm not going to write down goals. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. That's fine. That's on you. But here's one thing that I do know for certain. If you aim for nothing, you're going to hit it every single time. So if you don't, what did I say? In order to hit the goal, you got to know the goal. In order to hit the number, you got to know the number. Know your numbers. What are you aiming for? Then the last thing before I go into what I'm actually training on is I just wanted to give you guys my thing. I wrote my affirmations, and I was adamant that I would speak them every single day. I would write out, I will hear the voice of the Holy Spirit within. I will lead and not follow. I will create and not destroy. I am a force for good. I defy the odds. I set new standards. I'm a lender and not a borrower. I am loved by God, chosen by God, protected by God. No weapons formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned. I'm a leader. I'm a champion. Everything I touch turns to gold. I'm humble, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm strong. I will never be broke another day in my life. I will live the fullness of life and all that God has for me. I will grow multiple teams of successful 7-figure international and domestic business. Why? Because I am Candace Nicole Bird Davis. What are you speaking to yourself? I always believe that you speak what you seek until you see what you've said. So if you're believing for more in 2024, you got to do something different to get something different. Let's go into it. Jefferson said it. Today is December 2nd. Nope. Listen, Siri told me that. Alexa told me that. It's the second day of a new month. Hit the reset button. That's cool. Let's go. But here's what I want you to understand. It's the beginning of a new era. What are you going to do different this month? December 2nd, the beginning of the month is so key because I operate off of start your month with a sense of urgency. So you're not trying to close your month in an emergency. How many of you guys on November 30th, you were spazzing, you needed an extra 30 points to make sure you hit your goal? You wouldn't be losing it at the end of the month if you started with urgency right now, today. Matter of fact, we should have started it yesterday, but we're going to start from today. So I wrote down procrastination is failure on payment plan. Yeah, you can get off of this Zoom today and you could decide to do nothing. You're going to chill. It's a Saturday. You're not going to promote your business. You're not going to market any products. You're not going to talk to anybody about getting in the business. That's fine. But also at the end of the day, procrastination is going to lead to failure on payment plans. So write this word down. Oh, I also said, or wrote down, and I'm going to give you guys a couple things to play in your head for a minute. You can make excuses or you can get results, but you can't make both. And I wrote that down because one of the things that Mark said as I was sitting here listening, and I found myself many years ago in this industry saying the same thing. It's the holiday. Oh, Sonia, I'm not going to bother anybody on the weekend. They're probably out shopping for Christmas gifts. They're probably out doing this. So you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. One of the biggest things that you want to create in your business is momentum. If you start creating momentum now, in the month of December, when 1/1 kicks over, you're going to start to see an explosion in your business. But when you write down the word momentum, I want you to write it different. Moment hyphen. It's moments like this when you're feeling unsure about your success in the industry. It's moments like this when you're on a Zoom on a Saturday morning with leaders sharing with you how to take your business to the next level. It's moments like this when you've had a BOGO sale and you have access to a whole bunch of free product that is 100% profit now to your audience. It's moments like this that are going to truly set you up for success. But what are you going to do in these moments? How many of you guys took advantage of the BOGO sale and you stocked up on a lot of things? You stocked up on pre-rolls and CBD A's and daily sprays and XE trim. You stocked up on the coffee. You got it together. Now that you stocked up, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep it as a warehouse? Are you going to hoard all the product for yourself? Or are you going to get intentional about exposing people to your product or your business? You know, one of my favorite things is this time of year. Because like Mark said, like Jefferson said, everybody said, people are shopping right now. But what are you saying on social media? What if you started to put up some statuses that said, I'm just curious? Because let's think about it, okay? We all talked about this, and I want you to think about it. Everybody is getting ready to make one of 3 New Year resolutions. We talked about it. They want to lose weight, they want to get healthy, they want to make more money, right? So what if your social media status has said, I'm just curious, who already made their New Year resolution and what is it? Well, Candace, what's that got to do with it? Well, I guarantee you about 90% of your audience is going to say that they need to make more money, or they're going to say that they need to lose weight. They just opened the door for a personal invite from you to slide up in their DMs and start offering them options. But are you going to post? Or are you going to sit there and wonder? Are you going to scroll the news feed and watch TikToks and watch Reels and not do anything about your business? What if you did put that status up? What if you did put a status up that said in 2024, what are 2 things about your life you want to change? And people start telling you that they want to buy a new house, or they want to get a new car, or they want to put X amount of dollars in their savings account, or they want to travel the world. What if that happened and somebody said they wanted to travel more? What if you were able to slide up into their DMs and tell them that you found a way that they could go to Jamaica for free? Free. Matter of fact, if it's free, it's for me. If it's free, I'll take 3. Sign me up, Sonia Line. I want 3 trips to Jamaica. What if somebody said that they wanted to lose weight and you slid up in their DMs and you said, hey, Tammy, thanks so much for commenting on my status about your New Year resolution. I'm excited that you want to take your, weight loss journey to another level in 2024. Have you heard of blah, 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 blah? Absolutely. Catherine said curiosity post. Curiosity kills the cat. You don't have to be Pamela Anderson, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. And in most cases, when you are buy my product, you notice that your engagement is kind of low. But if you start polling your audience and you start asking them questions, you notice they engage more on your posts. What if you put a status up that said in 2024, what is one of your dream destinations? Now you got 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people commenting where they want to travel to in 2024. And what if you slid up in their DMs and you offered them something like High Life Travel, or you offered them a business opportunity to be able to fund their vacation? Those are the simple things that you can do to start to build your business. And as we talk about building the business, how many of you guys are doing launch calls? Don't tell me that you're sitting here waiting for somebody to give you permission to win just by using the Thursday night call. It's not hard to do your own launch call, my friends. See, it's a nice thing called Zoom that you can get a free platform with, and you can invite people to this Zoom, and you don't have to say much besides, hey guys, thank you so much for getting on here. I'm Candace Bird Davis. I invited you here tonight because I'm super excited about something amazing that's going on with this company and with this business. And, I thought you guys were some of the smartest people that I knew, some of the sharpest people that I knew, and I wanted to put this information in front of you. And what if you just hit play on the opportunity video that's in our capture system? Nobody said you had to know all the knowledge about the business to present it yourself. What if you just brought that screen up and shared the screen and played the presentation? And what if after that presentation, you said something like, see, I'm sure you guys can see why I'm so excited. Some amazing things are happening. Matter of fact, since I got started in the company, I was able to utilize, the lean Java bean, and I personally lost 42 pounds in 60 days. And today I'm inviting you guys on a journey with me in 2024 to where we're going to make an impact. And I'm going to do my best to help you make an income. What if you did that? It's the simple things that create significant results. Simple things. So, as I said, the slide deck's in the back office, the video's on the capture page system, and all you pretty much do is tell them why they're here and thank them for coming, and this is what you love about the business, and this is why you joined, and invite them on the journey to join with you. I'm running through these fast, so I apologize. You heard a lot of us talk about brand bucks. Mark talked about brand bucks. All of us who are saying, I want more in 2024, let's be 100% transparent. Drop a number 1 in the chat if you have yet to purchase your own brand bucks. Drop a number 1. I don't care if it's the $199, $399, $799. Because at the end of the day, what's happening is if you want more in 2024, you got to secure that for yourself. Most of us who have not purchased the brand bucks yet are probably not a 5K or above yet. If you're not a 5K or above yet, it's coming. I said yet. If you're not a 5K and above yet, you need to purchase brand bucks at $199, $399, or $799. And I'm going to tell you guys, if it were me, if it were up to me, it would be a $799 brand bucks to start and then putting it on subscription. Why? If you want more in 2024, you want to secure the fact that those brand bucks are going to give you a check match right out the gate. See, some of us are leaving money on the table. If you want more in 2024, the more that you want in 2024 is going to cost more money, but you're leaving it on the table. So you need to do your family the best thing possible by securing additional income in your already existing business. See, that's money that you're just letting sit there and not be paid out. And you might say, well, you know what, Candace, I really want to do brand bucks, but I can't afford it. Great. Here's what happens. Christmas is right around the corner. Your brother doesn't have to buy you, whatever he buys you, and your mom doesn't have to do you this. What I ask for, Javon will tell you, I ask for gift cards. Give me a gift card, because you know why? I'm going to go ahead and get a gift card, or send me some Apple Pay. I'm going to convert it into credit wallet if I haven't bought a brand bucks yet. And I'm going to use my Christmas gifts to upgrade my business into brand bucks. So then I can lock in a check match. Is this making sense to you? Because we're leaving a lot of money on the table. And we can't sit here and say, I want more in 2024, but we're leaving the money on the table. In regards to the BOGO sale, let me make sure my time. I text David ahead of time and I was like, how long do we get? And he was like, about 15 minutes. I was like, oh, I'm only going to go 5 minutes over. So let me reel it in real quick. In regards to the BOGO sale with the products that we currently have and the products that are being shipped to us. We all know 23 days from now, it's Christmas. People are shopping right now for stocking stuffers, for Christmas gifts. What if you put a social media status up that said, I'm curious, what is everybody putting in stockings this year? What is everybody putting in the stockings this year? Or what if your social status went up and it said, okay, it's about that time for Christmas office parties. A lot of people are having holiday parties, office parties, gift exchanges. It's about that time for the holiday parties. What are you giving for your gift exchange? And when these people start commenting, what if you slide up in their DMs and you offer them to give the opportunity to give the gift of health? People want to lose weight. We got phenomenal weight loss products. People want to get healthy. Our entire inventory of products is health and wellness. People want to make money. We have the business opportunity. Because at the end of the day, the person who solves the most problems is always going to make the most money. So let's see. A couple key tips that I wrote down. And most people won't do this. But then again, I know I'm not on a Zoom with most people. I'm on a Zoom with a whole bunch of elite people, right? It's time to, look, I see you raising your hand, Sandy. It's time for you to start building your list. I know, Dr. Dana, it's so cliche. You don't know how many times I will coach and mentor people and they're like, oh, I got to build a list. Build a list, okay? Build a list so big, so strong, so powerful, okay? And here's what you're going to do with your list. You're going to start calling your people. Matter of fact, I taught this to my team the other day. We had a training call Tuesday night. And I started going through my phone, and this is just what I do. But listen, I want you guys to understand, I'm a different breed of animal. In my mind, my mentality says hustle or be homeless. Okay? Because I've seen that before. So I'm calling people in my phone right now. And I'm acting like, okay, let's just say it's Sonia Line. I have her name saved in my phone. I have her phone number in my phone, but I'm going to act as if the number is not saved. And I'm calling Sonia up and she answers the phone and I'm like, hey, this is Candace Bird Davis. Who is this? She's like, hey, Candace, it's Sonia. I was like, oh, girl, hey, how are you? Listen, I was cleaning my phone out for the new year and I couldn't figure out who this number was. How are you? How's life treating you? She's going to say, good. How are you? Girl, I am doing awesome and amazing. Like I said, I'm cleaning my phone out for the new year. I got a lot of business contacts in here, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm just letting her know how I'm doing. But before I get off the phone, my conversation with her is, listen, Sonia, why I still have you before the new year even kicks, before my phone goes even crazier. Do you keep your income options open when earning an income online? Or I may even introduce her to a product. Matter of fact, girlfriend, while I got you on the phone, do you or anybody you know need to lose 5 pounds in 5 days for the new year? There's power in your phone. You could be a keyboard coward. You can send messages all day long on a keyboard, but there's nothing like a personal touch that gets the people feeling like they're important. And she could say, no, that's fine. You know what? That's quite all right, honey. If you think if you change your mind later, just give me a call. You got my number. I am going to save your number in here too. But if I don't get to talk to you, you and your family have a happy holiday season. Keep it moving. You planted a seed. Because guess what? Like Marcus said, by the 3rd week of January, that gym membership is no longer being used. So she's going to be sitting there mad one day because she didn't feel like going to the gym. She hasn't hit her weight loss goal. She kept that New Year resolution, but she's going to remember you called her right before the holiday and you said, do you or anybody you know want to lose 5 pounds in 5 days? Somehow she's going to remember you. Don't be afraid of doing favor calls. I'm big on favor calls. I'll call anybody in my phone that is my friend or my acquaintance. And I'll say something like, hey, Dr. Dana, it's Candace. How you doing, girl? She's going to be like, I'm fine. How are you? Girl, I am doing better than amazing. Let me ask you a serious question. Can you do me a huge favor? Anytime you ask somebody to do you a favor, what do they say? They always say yes. I could be asking Dr. Dana to rob a bank with me right now. I could be asking her to be the next Thelma to my Louise, right? And she's going to say, yeah. Can you do me a favor? Yeah, girl, what do you need? as my friend, what do I got to do, Dr. D, for you to support my business? And she's like, what do you mean by support your business? What do I got to do to earn you as a customer? If you don't ask, you don't get. And you would be surprised the amount of people that you ask them, what do I got to do to earn your business? They will buy a product by default just because you gave them a call. And it's the holiday season. You can offer them different little things to stock their stuffing or stuff their stockings. And one thing that they could never go wrong with is the mantra sense. You can never go wrong. Maybe people don't want to lose weight, okay? But you can never go wrong with the mantra spa collections. You can never go wrong with the mantra sense. Matter of fact, if it's somebody who has young daughters or kids or women in their lives, you can never go wrong with the cosmetology line. You got to stop assuming what other people want, number one. You can never go wrong with offering them brand bucks and let them shop till they drop. They want to support your business, let's go. Again, if you don't ask, you don't get. One thing that we are in is network marketing, and you got to work your network, okay? Work your network. So outside of that, I'm going to wrap it up. I want you guys to get fired up and excited and understand that Jamaica is right around the corner. You heard Dr. D, you heard everybody talk about Jamaica. Let me tell you why I'm excited about Jamaica and why this month, because you see, we only got 4 more months to go. We got December, January, February, March. That's the end of qualification. If you didn't at least qualify for 1K in November, you need to qualify to get there first by at least going 1K, and then we move up from there. But you have to qualify 2 out of the 4 months. Start it with a sense of urgency so you're not ending in an emergency. When I tell you Cancun was absolutely amazing, listen, never miss events that you qualify for. You actually do qualify for these events because you are an affiliate. You just got to do a little bit of work to secure your position there. But what's so amazing about these events, you get to, network, or you get to learn from people like David and Jefferson and Mark and Dana and Cowboy and, all these leaders that are in the room. You get to get first, like I call movers advantage, because I felt like in Cancun, I got first movers advantage when the Lean Java being kicked out. We learned about it in Cancun. All of us there got to hear about it before any of you did. And I got to sample it. I got to try it. I got to fall in love with it. And guess what? I got to take it home. And I started to get my result before you guys even knew about the product. So if you want to get a leg up on the competition or a leg up on the retail side to it, you're going to get exposed to a lot of the new HempWorks products that are coming out. You're going to be able to have fun. You're going to be able to create community. You're going to be able to have camaraderie. You're going to be able to learn. And we do this whole mindset thing. It's just an amazing thing. And if you really want more in 2024, one thing that I credit a lot of my success to is being able to put my feet in rooms with powerful people like Josh and Jenna, like Dana, like David, like Mark, like Jefferson. That's where my success came from. I didn't come off the top of the dome with all this stuff. I sat amongst greatness and I was a sponge and I absorbed. So listen, guys, we want you in Jamaica. This is the month to make Jamaica happen. Get your qualification in now, so you're not at the end of the 4 months trying to get your time in. Secure it for December, secure it for January, and know that we're getting there. And then we'll just rank up from there to make sure that you get there, but then we get you there free, okay? Because I don't want to be in the beaches of the world by myself. I want everybody else to be there. We want to be what? Okay, excuse me for saying this. Don't shoot me, okay? I want to have my ass in the sand and a drink in a hand with each and every one of you guys, okay? So let's just make Jamaica happen. Do not wait for all lights to turn green before we go. Now is the time to apply full throttle. Right now, it's the season of transition as well. For those of you guys, be vocal, be loud about your business, because the season of transition, most network marketers themselves are looking for other companies. And let's be honest, we are the deal. There's nothing else out there better, hotter, faster, and more momentum based than us. So why not give them the opportunity? But listen, I love each and every one of you guys. I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend, David. And I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys for being here. And David, I thank you for the invite today, my friend.
Well, I thank you for accepting, Candace. I really do. And there was no better person to wrap things up today. So thank you for that. It was an absolute mic drop. There's really nothing more to say, ladies and gentlemen. We just appreciate you being here on Monday. I believe it's Monday. I want to say it's 12 noon Eastern. Be sure to tap into Josh's monthly address. And above all, let me just thank Jefferson, Mark, Dana, yourself, Candace, and each and every one of you for showing up. It's very, very grateful for that. And as you go into this weekend, look, I always say this, and it's not cliche, do something for yourself this weekend. If for no other reason, you deserve it. Okay, you deserve it. And as you're looking in that mirror, see something more than the kitty cat. See something more than that, because you are more than that. So with that said, that's going to officially end our call for this week. We're grateful for your presence, and really looking forward to an amazing December and an incredible 2024. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the coaches. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you, everyone.
Thank
you.
Appreciate you.
Guys.
We're gonna get more in 2024.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Gonna put it to effect.
Great people, the family 5. Yeah, let's get it.
Thank
you. All this.
Have a great
day. Thank you.
Go,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Let's go.
Talk y'all later.
Woo, woo, woo.
Wow.